Welcome to the Couch Potato Sports Show, your internet radio home for all sports, news, and talk. Join Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, and the Eagle Eye, Bill Cerna, and the best co-host anyone could ask for, Cuervo. We cover it all. NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, as well as indoor football and high school sports. Now, it's time. Here's Sonny Clark.
All right, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, here on a special show, guys. I gotta tell you, I am completely and utterly shocked today. Now, let me first tell you, I'm waiting for Cuervo, but I want to set this up, okay? First of all, last night, Sonny Clark, tired guy, okay, did a lot of stuff yesterday, and I decided to lay down early so I could be ready for work this morning, pop up at 4 o'clock in the morning, be ready for work at 5, and get through a day at work. I had to do this because, Saturday mornings at where I work, you need to be aware, you need to be alert. And I say this because I deal with the public. And those that deal with the public, if you know your attitude will get you in trouble, you need to try to make arrangements to make sure you won't be. That being said, that includes sleep for Sonny. I need sleep. But there is some huge news that's not being talked about today. Why? Because we have NFL tomorrow. And believe me, Sonny's ready for some NFL football tomorrow. By the way, Cuervo may or may not be joining us for the show. He might be in and out. He will be traveling. But so those that don't know, that being said, Sunday, 9 a.m. right here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. So back to what I was saying, get ready for the work. So I'm ready to go, and I'm feeling really good. And at about 11 o'clock, something was sent to me that no one seemed to care about. And I find these things that are said that go over heads, go below the knees and stuff like that, and people don't see it. I question people's dedication to sports. I question people deciding to be in a sport, and it seems to me that there's a lot of lackluster effort. And this might be because of the fact that we live in an entitled age. Okay, first of all, let me put this out here. Sonny Clark is about as old school gets. And when I hear what I heard today, I don't know if you can tell, my face is red. I have been on fire all day long. And I mean all day long. And where is Cuervo? Because, okay, hold on. Hit this button right here. Oh, no. Okay, that's not Cuervo. He should be here any moment. But it got me so flustered. I'm still red in the face. I don't know. It's probably hypertension. But but that being said, I just remember, and we're gonna one thing that happens when someone's old school, people don't get it. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys, okay? I'm just going to back this up a little bit. Yes, I'm backing it up. Backing it up for you guys. Back to when I was a younger man, skinnier guy, athletic. Yes, believe it or not, Sonny Clark was athletic. And I know when I played basketball, football, or sometimes even baseball, I know I gave it my all. But in life, there are some things that are sacred. Those sacred things in sports are You are out to win. And this sacred portion of sports is gone. In the day and age of entitlement, in the day of age, everybody gets a trophy. In the day of age, well, we don't want to hurt your feelings. We don't want to do that. I have found that what is happening in today's day is that we get a lot of wimpiness going out there. I'll say it. Wimpiness. Complete and utter wimpiness. Everybody gets a trophy. We got to be careful. We don't want to hurt someone's feelings. And I'm sorry. I guess I'm from the day and age when sports was important and you took it important. You kept, I mean, it was something that you wanted to do. Now, that being said, let me do this so I can bring him on.
You didn't know?
That's in case you didn't know.
Call somebody!
Let's bring him on in. It is the fine co-host of this program. And first of all, Cuervo, I have got to thank you for becoming available at such fast notice, because this happened at work. I was at work all day long. And this thing, look, can you see the redness in my face? Can you
a little bit? Yeah.
I'm boiled up today. Yeah. It's probably hypertension, but that being never said, that means anything will get it going. But Cuervo, we have got, and the funny thing is, we have breaking news and no one knows about it. I mean, I find this amazing. So let's just do it. Breaking news here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. And just so everybody knows, Cuervo, did I even tell you what this was about today?
No, the only thing I know is what you posted on Facebook. It involves college sports. That's all I really
know. College sports, exactly. Okay. Now, that being said, of course, that's the name of the show on Sunday that you may or may not be, or might be just a little bit part of tomorrow. That being said, I wanted to make sure that Cuervo did not know about this, even though it's breaking news that no one's covering. And maybe it's because of lack of interest in college sports as far as what it is. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I've got to ask myself the question. And that question is I think I'm too old school for my own good. What in the Sam hell is going on, Cuervo? Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring in the video so you can watch this. Okay, I did the video because I didn't want to mess it up. Now, this is just in case. Hold on, let me just hit this button here so I can set this up a little bit better. All right, this is a interview that was being done on the college baseball level. Okay, and this is a reporter or a guy that does, like the pregame shows and stuff like that for UConn Husky baseball. Okay, so there's the setup, and here is what this was. And for folks that don't know, the head coach of UConn, the baseball team, is Jim Penders. He is the head coach, and that's who this reporter is interviewing. So I'm going to take you right to the video. You won't believe this, Cuervo. So here it goes.
But will you tell me this, from your vantage point, sitting there being the head coach of the Connecticut Huskies, could Eastern Connecticut screw around and beat the Huskies sometime if they have the right?
Oh, no question about it. Yeah, Coach Ham does a great job. That's why we don't play him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to play a Division III school when I know that they can beat us. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's too much downside there, but in reality, I know they're a lot closer match than some of the Division I's that are in our state. And that's the truth. And your program's a great example. You won a national championship there, in North Carolina Wesleyan, and nobody will ever take that away from you. You're a national champ. And those relationships, I'll bet you, because you played for that championship, you stay in touch with a lot of your former teammates. That's the gold. That's the stuff that really matters. But no, division, it doesn't matter. Division I, Division II, Division III, find the right fit. There are some great Division III academic schools in our area of the country, in the NESCAC conference especially. And oftentimes I'll I'll advise people around here, hey, if you have the resources, and your son or daughter is intelligent enough to get into one of those schools, you'd be foolish not to take a really long, hard look at that, so, and there's all different levels of Division I too. People get caught up in Division I and thinking that's the be all end all. There's Division I programs where guys have to raise money to go on southern trips, or guys have to buy their own cleats. It's not all it's cracked up to be in some of them. We're fortunate at UConn in that our guys don't have to do those kinds of things, but there's 300 of us playing Division I baseball. We're not all going to Omaha. We're all not going to be vying to go to Omaha every year. There's a lot of different subsets and sub-levels within that Division
I don't know, Cuervo. I'm at a loss of words. I'm at a loss of words. So I'm gonna take it to you, Cuervo, because I can't believe my ears.
Yeah, I mean, so I heard it did break up. I don't know if that's because of my Wi-Fi, but it sounded like if I'm hearing it right, it sounds like he's a manager that doesn't want to compete. He doesn't want to challenge his baseball team.
Actually, you know what?
I'm not going to play a D3
like this. Here's what it says. I am not stupid. I'm not going to play a Division III team school when I know they can beat us. It is as simple as that. There's not too much downside there. This coming from the head coach, and you can see everybody behind me. They're just as shocked as I am. I can't believe I just heard this. Now I get what the interview was about. It was to pump up Division 2, 3, 4 schools. I completely get it. But his words is here, Cuervo. I'm just gonna. Because I'm really good at video. I'm really good at it. So I'm just going to start it over. It's not going to go over it. Just listen towards the end. This is about a minute. Listen.
But you tell me this, from your vantage point sitting there being the head coach of the Connecticut Huskies, could Eastern Connecticut screw around and beat the Huskies sometime if they have the right?
Oh, no question about it. Yeah, Coach Ham does a great job. That's why we don't play him.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. I'm not going to play a Division III school when I know that they can beat us. It's as simple as that. There's too much downside there, and
I can't. I just cannot believe I heard. I don't. Maybe I'm just too old school for old school, Cuervo. But this is the. I'm gonna tell you right now. And I'm going to ask a rhetorical question because I know the answer to the question, but I'll ask you to see if you know the answer. I mean, the schedule for any college is done by who?
Well, the NCAA, I would, or the conference.
It's actually there's certain amount of games that you have to play within your conferences and stuff, but the schedule is made by the athletic director. Just so that you know, they're hired in, they do all that, they schedule all that. And so when I first heard it, it just came to me as the coach is making the schedule. That's why we don't play them. And now that and I had time to think about it, Cuervo, and realizing what it's all about. It is the athletic director that is the one responsible for the schedule. So I think I just got one thing to say, Cuervo. I'm telling you, whoever the athletic director is over at UConn needs to be fired. Because if he is not scheduling games with Division 3 or 2, 3, 4, because they think that they're going to – what is he saying to his baseball team? What is he saying to the fan base of UConn? Oh, we can't beat them, so we just won't play them. It's almost like it's the epitome, I'll take my ball home. I quit. I'm taking my ball home. I'm done. It's pathetic is what it is. This whole thing is pathetic. And I know I'm Cuervo. I know I'm old school, and I know I have to back it up sometimes because sometimes the old school gets in the way of the new school and maybe, but you're new school, so I'm going to give it to you and hand this over to you. What do you think about that statement?
Yeah, I'm mixed on it, Sonny. I mean, I completely understand your take on it. But I guess I see it both ways. Now
That's
I'm
why
not
you're the
saying,
new school.
yeah, and the reason I say that is because from your perspective, you got it as a coach of a team, as a manager, whatever. Your job is to position your team in the best position to win, right? At the same time, though, I think at the collegiate level or even at the high school level, I think it's important to also implement the ability to challenge yourself and to be able to see what the limits are within your players, because that's going to be important down the road when you get to that next level. And it develops that mindset of, challenge accepted no matter what.
Right.
So that's where you're coming from. Now on the other side, it could work either way. It could either work as you're going to get some guys that are going to accept that challenge and they're going to push themselves and they're going to find it within themselves to say, you know what, I can do more, I can do more, I can do more. But then you're going to have guys that if they play against a team, let's use baseball as an example, and they play a Division III team that they, claim that they know they can't beat, and they go out there and they lose, 17-0, let's say. It could be demoralizing too. It could be something to where, and this goes back to where you are, how strong you are mentally, and they may say, well, I don't want to play baseball anymore because I got beat 17-0. Right, exactly. Yep, that's right. So you're gonna have those select few, but you know what though? That's what's gonna separate the guys that make it and the guys that don't.
The difference between men and children. I cannot believe this has not hit. I really can't. I can't believe that this has not hit the national news. I really can't, because in reality, you think about this, Cuervo.
This is total BS.
You can't have that man. Thanks, Bulldog. You can't have that mindset going into a game, or you're afraid to play them because you just might get beat. So we'll play someone else that we can go in. We can feel real good about. Oh my gosh, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna steal Brian Tarvin's line. The wussification of our nation, especially in sports, this is it right here. This right here, that explanation. And I get what he was doing. I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to hey, look at these Division II and III. Listen, these are some solid clubs. Because let's be honest, you don't get solid clubs in reality on Division II and Division III football, correct, Cuervo? So I get what he was trying to do, but he let the cat out of the bag. He let the cat out of the bag by saying, "Well, why you don't think we don't play him?" I don't. Whenever I think about it is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard a coach say. And this guy or whoever makes the schedule needs to be fired. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not very good at setting up a online petition to get people. But this guy, whoever makes the schedule, needs to be completely and utterly fired. I have never seen such a wimpy excuse to come out and say something like that.
How dare you say such a thing? That is insanity.
It is. It's insanity. I cannot believe I just heard what I heard coming from a Division I coach. And again, I know he was giving props to 2, 3, and 4. I get it. But man, that cat's out of the bag, and you can't take that back.
Yeah, no, you're right. And
Cuervo, this is not on the national news. I mean, maybe am I too old school to be? I don't know.
I will say, I'll be honest, Sonny, and I always try to be as honest as I can with you. Yeah, it is too old school because it's the way that competition, the word competition is defined nowadays. The way competition is perceived is different today than it was back in your day,
Right.
when you always wanted to, even when it came to the bull, the how do you say it? It was almost like when you had to prove yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you always went after the biggest guy, right?
Right.
That's how you prove yourself. That's how
Yeah.
you
I mean,
that's how you
a
gain.
classic example, and you can relate.
Yeah, that's how you gain the
Bulls Pistons.
RESPECT.
Bulls Pistons. Right.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Bulls
Yep.
Pistons. I mean,
Yeah.
in reality, they're in the same division, but to get to the NBA Finals, you get Bulls Pistons. You know.
Right, and Michael and the guys understood that, and
Yep.
instead of laying down and saying, "Well, we're never going to beat them," Michael, they worked harder. I mean, Michael, he gained 10, 15 pounds of muscle the next season, and they finally got through the Pistons. And the Pistons were the ones that walked off the court, like, "Hey, we lost."
Beat up. Exactly. Exactly. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Sonny, and by the way, Isaiah's never going to let that grudge go.
Oh, he's never. Oh, that is.
I
never
saw that post.
He's never going to let it go on my line when he was giving praise to him, and then after in that. But just to put that video in context, that video was before the Dream Team,
Right.
And then after that, Isaiah doesn't have anything nice to say about one Michael Jordan the GOAT.
Yeah,
but
he never did.
Unbelievable.
He's the one that started in Michael's last game as a Bull. He's the one that made the comment about him pushing off Brian Russell.
Yes.
And so now everybody believes it because Isaiah Thomas said it, and people that are not Jordan fans believe it. And he's the one that instigated that whole belief that he pushed off.
Yes.
So of course he's going to do what he's got to do to give Michael a bad name.
Yeah, absolutely. And after giving him all the praises in the world, boy, oh boy, a little green of envy, it just shows its face around, and it just has a habit of digging and digging. And here's the thing. Sometimes you got to pass the torch. Sometimes you got to be the one to receive it. And listen, people don't get it who are younger than you, because if you get the opportunity, forget the Michael Jordan documentary on ESPN. Find those final games where the Bulls were going, or not the finals, but actually the conference championship, where the Bulls were going up against the Pistons, and watch the game. Forget about everything that you know, and start with the first one and watch them. They got to be on YouTube someplace, and then you'll understand what one head coach of the UConn Huskies don't get. And what he doesn't get is that you pour your heart and soul into what you're doing, and you want to play the best of the best, and you want to beat the best of the best, so you can claim that you're the best of the best. And it just drives me insane.
I'll tell you what, Sonny. We're sitting here, we're talking about it, and I'm listening to everything you're saying. At the same time, I'm trying to think of an example that of a guy that did the complete opposite, and he did want to go up against the biggest teams and wasn't afraid of the big bully. Fresno State football. Do you remember Pat Hill? He was the head coach.
And this was about 4 or 5 years ago, correct?
No, more like 10, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And that's how he developed that program, and they became a much better team, and they were able to move conferences, and they moved up into Division I, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because he
was the head coach, and I know this because I have friends that know him personally, and he was never afraid to back down. I mean, he wanted to play Pete Carroll's USC Trojans every year. He wanted to play Oklahoma, whoever he could get his hands on. And their motto was anytime, any place.
Absolutely.
That's what Fresno State football became for years with him as the head coach. And they got better and they became ranked, something that had never happened before in that program. And now you look at where they are, and they've gone back to being what they once were before Pat Hill was the head coach. So
I'll throw one out for you, Cuervo.
Go for it.
Gary Patterson,
TCU. Yeah, TCU. Yep.
See, and those are the guys that you can look up into, you know, and you go, oh my God, yeah, I want to play the best of the best. This is what we got to do in order to play for the best of the best. And this guy is not interested in. If you need to dip down in division to play the best of the best, you better get your ass down there and you better play. I don't get it. And it is. I'm 53 years old. I completely get that. I am in a complete loss of this new generation. But I'm just going to say it. This attitude of the new generation, I don't want to play the best. It's
None of that was terrible. Crazy knuckleheaded terrible.
It's crazy knuckle-headed terrible thinking coming from anybody who sets that up. So if it's the coach that sets if the coach sets up the schedule, he should be fired. If it's the athletic director, which it is, he needs to be fired because he needs to get those guys in there. What are you telling your baseball team? Oh, we don't want to play the best. And I get it. I guess it's what I'll call the soft generation that don't want to play. Oh, what good is it if we lose to them? How are we gonna Oh, please.
No, you know what it is, Sonny, is that it's today's athlete is too worried about being embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I get it. I actually do understand why, though, because back when, in your days when guys were, wanting to compete with the best of them, it was different because if you lost and were embarrassed on the court, on the field, whatever sport you're playing, back then you only really knew about it if you were at the game and you talked about it. Nowadays, what do you have? What's the big thing that you have?
The internet.
You have the internet. You have social media. So if you embarrass yourself as a player, as a team, as a coach, everybody knows about it within minutes. And it's the embarrassment of losing and the way you lose. And so that's the difference. Now, what do I say to that?
Get better.
If you have thick enough skin, who the hell cares what anybody else thinks?
Get better. Sometimes a good ass kicking or a good embarrassment is good for you.
Sure.
It defines who you are, and it tells people who you are. And there is the big dog. Good to see. Very good to say hi.
Big dog.
Yep. But every once in a while, sometimes an ass kicking or an embarrassment will make you realize where you are in your game. Okay, and here's another example. Tampa Bay getting their asses handed to them. They didn't just get beat, Cuervo. They got their face rubbed in it.
And you're talking about the GOAT.
You're talking about the GOAT. You think the GOAT went back and was worried about the players on his team's feelings? No. He went in and ripped them a new one. And he probably even ripped himself, going, Jesus, I got to be better. What the hell is this crap? You need to be held accountable for what you do when you are a person of responsibility to be on a team sport. And if you can't hack it, you shouldn't be allowed on the court, field, wherever, because you're too weak. We need to strengthen our young folks up. We need to tell the kids that you've got to lose in order to win. I mean, ask Michael Jordan about that. Cut from his high school team. Okay, cut. Okay,
Yeah.
You think patting him on the head and saying, "Oh, Michael, it'll be okay," actually would have worked? No, it took Michael to go, "Well, screw these. I'm coming back. I'm coming back better." And that's how you've got to get it into the, and you got to light a fire up and say, just pat him on the head. Cuervo, it's gonna be okay. It'll be okay.
Thank you, Sonny.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of that, when
Mhm.
Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team, the guy that beat him out was at his Hall of Fame speech, at Michael Jordan's Hall of Fame speech.
Well, there were a lot of people there. Who are you talking about? I know it's just slipping my mind.
I forgot the dude's name, but
That's right. He's the one that inducted or introduced him, right? Or was
no.
there?
No,
Well-
it was just I forgot the guy's name. I have to go back and listen to the speech,
But-
but the guy was there. The
Yeah.
guy that beat him out for that last spot on the high school team, he because I remember him talking about it, and he's
Yeah.
like, I just wanted to know, or the coach, he's like, I wanted you to know you made a mistake, dude.
Yep.
So
And not only that, that was almost embarrassing. But I mean, I'll put it out there. That was almost embarrassing for Michael
Yeah.
Jordan. His Hall of Fame
Definitely.
speech. Oh, well,
I
yeah.
mean,
not too good, you know.
yeah. I mean, he took some shots at people, but
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so I don't know, Cuervo. Maybe it's me.
there's the monkey.
It has to be me. I know it's me. But I mean, that's breaking news that no one's talking about, and you're only going to hear that here because ESPN's too political to not talk about that because they don't want to hurt their feelings. They
Don't want to be embarrassed.
They want to lift them up.
The feeling of embarrassment.
Cuervo,
Nobody likes it because of how the social media is nowadays. You got your internet bullies that nobody wants to deal with. That's what it really is.
Yeah. But you know what they really need a dose of, Cuervo, in reality? They need,
Keeping it real.
got to keep it real. Keep it real. Let them know that you got your asses kicked. Come back and do something about it. That was my coach's line. Well, if you didn't like your performance out there or what we did, do something about it. Instead of, we got Mr. Clapp of Jason Garrett on the sideline going, it's good for you. And he's still doing up in New York. And they did get lucky last week. By the way, I picked the Giants last week. And they won. Mm-hmm.
Good pick. Yeah, I mean,
Lucky pick. I gained one game on everybody this week, so I'm pretty
Nice.
proud of myself.
You're on a roll, Sonny.
I'll be
You're on a
crowing
roll.
about that tomorrow. So, but and now you're going on a trip tomorrow.
I am.
Okay.
I am. Not a lot of people know about it, but I am going on a trip.
So are you not going to be on, or are you going to try to get in depending on the connections or whatever?
Yes.
Maybe. So,
Yep.
were you the one that sent me your picks already?
No, I think that was either Bryce or Tarvin.
It was I think it was my brother, or my brother sent them directly. So I got Bryce was one of them, and I don't know if it was my brother or Tarvin, but we'll get them all, and we'll have all the picks all ready to go. I'll give you an update on who's leading. It's still me. I'm still in the caboose, but I'm slowly starting to creep up there. Watch out, guys! I'm after you now. So I don't know, but I had to talk about this because I've been pissed off since 10 a.m. when I found out about this. I've been mad because of the
holding it in for a
unification
while.
of this country. So what I love that Brian Tarvin, he uses a kind of a different word, but you get his drift, and that's a classic example of it. So there it is. So since I got you online, is there anything you wanted to talk about? I mean, or what a game! What a game Thursday night! What the hell?
I didn't watch too much of it.
The hell?
I didn't see too much of it, but All I know is 1 minute I'm watching and Tennessee's winning, and then the next second I know Philip Rivers is getting interviewed because the Colts won the game. I'm like, what just happened?
It was so un-Philip Rivers worthy. I mean, you just don't expect that because that dogfight they were in, you expect Philip Rivers to lose that game. He has a hard time of finishing games. And that's just a fact. That's not me bashing him. It's the truth. He has a hard time finishing games. So he at least got in there and finished ones against a tough team in the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. I mean, I got to give Rivers some credit. I mean, I watched some of the highlights, and again, the Colts defense, I think, gets some credit too. That I don't know, that defense, I tell you, it's completely turned around.
Oh, 100%. 2 years ago, we were talking about the worst defense in the NFL. Now we're talking about one of the best. And as much as I hate to say it, Cuervo, I hate to say what I'm about ready to say. It's not working. It's supposed to work.
I saw it.
Did it work? I didn't see it.
I was.
Yeah, I was wrong. All right, so I got it out there. By the way, I'm still not wrong about Tua. Okay, hey, one game, all of a sudden, everybody wants to put him in the freaking Hall of Fame. Hey. But, well, I'll probably have something to say about that tomorrow. Maybe something. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and we'll talk about all the games that are going on and everything. So, y'all set?
I'm all set.
Thanks for joining me on short notice.
That's a good topic to talk about. I know we've talked about it a couple times, as far as athletes and competitiveness and stuff like that. So it's always good to.
We want to see it. And by the way, I'm going to start it. I'm going to start it. I am going to figure out how to get it out there in the mainstream that Jim Penders, the head coach of the UConn baseball team and or the athletic director, whoever makes the schedule, this needs to go. You got to go. Well, that's it for me. I'll see if I can keep my blood pressure down and get ready for tomorrow. And
you need to stop being so red.
Yeah, because I'm on fire. I cannot believe it. And there it is. Howard, good to see you. Thanks for checking in. He was saying that it came through. So that being said, all right, we done?
I'm good.
That's going to do it for us then on the Couch Potato Sports Show. And actually it was supposed to be Sam Hell, not Same Hell. Sam Hell is going on. We'll check it out. Everybody, thanks for joining us on the Couch Potato Sports Show. For Cuervo, I'm Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio. We're out of here. Hasta luego. Take care. Bye-bye.